welcome to day 14 of Move for Mind. It's our last day on activation and engagement today, so we're really going to be focusing on all body activation and engagement and kind of everything that we've built together this week. So we're going to begin lying down on our backs, bringing the soles of the feet to the floor. And just finding your spine first, so maybe just lifting up the tailbone so you can get the whole of the lower back onto the floor. Bringing both hands to the belly, taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more like this, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Giving yourself a moment to arrive into the space, to arrive onto the mat. Closing the eyes if you wish, or keeping them open if that suits you today. But just giving yourself a few moments to check in with the body. Really allowing yourself to focus on you. This is a time for you, this is a space for you. So really giving yourself that luxury of attention. Starting to cultivate and build that self-awareness and opening that line of communication with the body. Maybe taking a gentle scan, just checking in to see how you feel today, how the body is today, how the mind is today. And if this doesn't work for you, maybe just starting to follow the rhythm of your breath. Noticing the length of your inhales, the length of your exhales. Taking one more deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Opening the eyes with a soft gaze if they've been closed. Then bringing both arms either side of the body. Walking the feet in slightly, so you might be able to tickle the heels with the fingertips. You might not, depending on the length of your arms. But tilting that tailbone up towards the sky, so you're imprinting all of the lower back onto the floor. And pushing into your heels and lifting the tailbone first, so lower back, middle back, and then maybe the top of the back comes off the ground, finding a bridge. And the exhale, as slowly as you went up, coming down, really carefully articulating the spine onto the mat. And more like this, inhaling, coming from the tailbone first, lifting the spine vertebrae by vertebrae until you come up towards the shoulder blades. Exhale, bringing one vertebrae at a time back to the mat. You can either repeat this or on the inhale as you lift the tailbone, lifting the arms up above the head, taking the arms overhead. Exhale, the arms lower. As you come towards the lower spine, maybe reaching the arms a little bit further away, coming all the way back down. One more, whichever way you choose, really just following your breath. So using the inhale to get all the way to the top, the exhale to come all the way down to the ground. Once here, hugging knees in towards the chest, taking a gentle rock from side to side. Then bringing both hands out into a T, bringing the knees into a tabletop, so imprinting that lower back onto the ground, engaging the navel towards the spine. Inhale to prepare, and exhale sending both knees out towards the right, keeping both shoulders down onto the ground, but don't go all the way to the floor. Pause, and inhale using your core strength, bringing the knees back in towards the body. Exhale sending legs slowly out towards the left, keeping both shoulders down, hovering. Inhale coming back into centre. Again to the right, exhaling. with control, really controlling this movement, isolating this movement. Inhale back into centre. Exhaling to the left. You can keep the gaze looking directly up to the ceiling here. Inhale, centre. One more each side, following your breath. So kind of like a very slow windscreen wiper. Inhale, centre. Exhale to the left. Inhale, centre. Hugging both knees into chest, taking that rock from side to side. And then whichever way you please, maybe just rolling to one side to come into a tabletop, or rolling over the length of the spine, not kicking the doggy in the head, and then coming to find your tabletop. Planting both hands firmly into the ground, almost like you're gripping into sand. Pushing the floor away from you, so creating that doming sensation in the upper back. Bringing the navel to the spine, tucking the toes under, then on the inhale hovering the knees a couple of inches away from the floor, finding your hovering tabletop. Keeping the gaze in between the hands, the spine is long and strong. Really pushing the floor away from you, finding that activation, finding that engagement in the body. Inhale. Exhale, lowering the knees, sitting the hips back to the heels, finding your child's pose. Maybe just rolling the forehead out from side to side. And when you're ready, tucking the toes, pushing the hips up to the sky, finding downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Maybe taking a nice deep bend in one knee, nice deep bend in the other. And really finding your intuitive movement here. Working out what your body needs today. Finding that space in your downward facing dog. And coming to that stillness when you're ready. Inhaling high onto the balls of the feet, deep bend in the knees, look between the palms, and taking as many steps to the top of the mat as you need, coming to your Uttanasana, your forward fold. Interlacing the hands behind the back, finding that clasp of the hands, and really sending the wrists away from the back. Keeping the palms of the hands together if you can, but don't worry if that doesn't work. If you don't have the interclasp, you can always take hold of opposite elbows behind the back. Inhale, straightening through the right leg as you take a bend in the left knee, bringing the left shoulder towards the left knee. Finding a twist. Inhale. Exhale, centre, taking a deep bend in the right knee as right shoulder comes towards right knee, straightening through that left leg. Hello, hamstring. Inhale. Exhale, coming back into centre, releasing that interclasp, coming into your ragdoll, taking hold of opposite elbows, maybe taking a gentle rock from side to side. And finding your stillness, finding your balance, releasing the elbows, and slowly, slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up to find your Tadasana mountain pose. Big toes together, heels slightly apart, or feet hips distance apart, yogi's choice. Inhale to prepare, and exhale. Inhale, taking a deep bend in the knees, touching the floor with the fingertips, sweeping the arms up, coming to Utkatasana, chair pose, sinking the hips down, bringing that navel in towards the spine, shoulders go down the back so you're not hunching up towards the ears. You can look at your fingertips in front of you. Maybe you can sink a bit deeper into the hips. You should be able to see your big toes. Inhale. Exhale, Ardha Utkatasana, finding that half chair, so really sending the hips back as you're reaching the arms forward. Inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale to plant the hands, stepping the feet back to find your high plank. Exhale, the knees come down, the chin and the chest comes down to the ground. Inhale, peeling through to find your cobra. Exhale, sending hips to heels, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. or taking a child's pose here. But coming to your breath, coming to your posture. Really rooting down through the hands, so each and every fingertip and thumb is on the floor. You're rolling the eyes of the elbows inwards, your shoulders are away from the ears, your head is heavy, looking between your knees. Really finding that length in the spine, tilting the tailbone up towards the sky, engaging your navel to your spine. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, the right leg lifts, stepping right foot in between the palms, lowering the left knee down. Inhale, bringing both arms up, finding Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, bringing left hand forward as right hand comes back, finding the twist. Staying here or inhaling, palm of the left hand faces up. Exhale, sending that right hand down the back of the left leg. Gaze towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale to plant hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhaling high onto the balls of the feet, rippling forward with the spine to find your high plank. Knees come down. Exhale, chin and chest comes to the earth. Inhale, peeling through to find your cobra. Exhale, hips to heels, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, stepping left foot up in between the hands. Right knee lowers. Inhale, both arms lift, finding Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, right hand forward as left hand comes back, finding the twist. Staying here or inhale, the right palm comes up to the ceiling. Exhale, left hand comes down the back of the right leg. Gaze to the sky. Inhale, finding that opening in the hip flexor. And exhale. Inhale, bringing both palms back to the ground. Exhale, tucking back toes under, stepping back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, high onto the balls of the feet, rippling forward through the spine, coming into your high plank. Exhale, knees down, chin and chest come to the ground as the elbows hug in towards the body, slow and controlled. Inhale, finding that cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana or child's pose. Inhale and exhale. Coming back to the breath. And really using this posture as a reset. As a pause. If you have been in your child's pose, coming back up to your downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, high onto the ball of the right foot, bringing right knee to the nose, tucking into that tiny ball. Exhale, placing right foot on the ground, between the hands. Inhale, both arms lift, finding crescent lunge. Now either staying in crescent lunge or moving to warrior one. Planting the left foot down, so it's on a 45-degree angle, and keeping the right foot where it is, right knee bent. Bringing hands to the hips and just making sure that you're squaring through the hips towards the top of the mat. You can inch the right toes slightly to the right here to make more space for the hips. Maybe just encouraging the tailbone down by pushing the thumb into the back of the hips. Inhaling, the arms lift, gaze in between your hands, shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, can you sink a little bit deeper into that right leg? Can you really push into the outer edge of the left foot, strong and engaged through the legs? Exhale. Inhale to interlace the hands behind the back, really sending the wrists away from you, walking the right toes to the edge of the mat. Inhale, opening up through the chest. Exhale, folding down, finding your humble warrior, sending the palms away from the body, right shoulder to the inside of the right leg. But making sure that left hip is coming forward as that right hip is going back. Inhale, coming back up into warrior one with the legs, keeping the hands interclasped. Exhale, coming back down, finding that humble warrior. Inhale, coming back up into warrior one. Exhale, finding your humble warrior. Pausing here, coming high onto the ball of that back foot, lifting up the chest. Then inhale, finding your way into warrior three. This left leg does not need to be very high, but starting to square through the hips, sending the wrists away from the chest. And trying to find that upward facing dog sensation, so not coming into a split, trying to keep the chest lifted. Inhale, exhale, bringing hands into prayer. We're going to come into some curtsy squats now, so if your leg is really screaming, just bring the left toes down slightly for a moment. Inhale, coming back up. Then exhale, bending into the right knee as you send the left knee behind the right. You can either keep the left toes lifted or plant the left toes, keeping the chest low. Inhale, exhale, sending that left leg back. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, bending into the right knee as the left toes come off to the side, taking a curtsy. Inhale to extend. Exhale, taking the squat. One more like this. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bringing the left knee behind the right knee, and then coming to sit all the way down in between the legs. You might feel that in the glute. So this left leg can be straight on the floor, or you can keep the left toes in towards the hip, planting the left hand down, the right hand down behind the right hip. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, taking the twist, half Lord of the Fish. Inhale to lengthen and extend the chest. Exhale, twisting from the belly, rib cage, shoulder, and then head goes round. She's such a snorer, I'm so sorry. Inhale, coming back into centre, taking that derotation to the other side. Inhale, coming back into centre. Sappy. Then finding your sitting bones, so leaning slightly back here. Then bringing your hands behind your thighs, engaging your navel. Maybe one foot comes off the ground. Maybe the other foot comes off the ground. Finding your Navasana, your boat posture. So you might get a bit of shaking throughout the core here. Now you can stay here, or maybe extending the arms either side of the legs, or maybe straightening through both legs. Gaze towards the toes, taking whichever variation works for you. For 5, 4, not slumping into the back. For 3, for 2, for 1, crossing over the ankles and stepping back into downward facing dog. If ever you find yourself collapsing into a pose, take the variation that means that you're not collapsing, so you're working into strength and not just folding. Coming back to your breath. Then inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, stepping right foot in between the palms. Inhale, both arms come up, finding that crescent lunge first. Bringing hands to the hips, finding that squareness in the hips. Then sending that right foot, so it's that 45-degree angle, and flat onto the floor. Both feet are pointing up. Maybe just walking that left foot out to the left slightly, so you do have that balance in the hips. Shoulders up and away from the ears. Maybe just encouraging the tilt of the tailbone downwards with your thumbs on the back of the hips. Engaging through the core. Inhale, both arms lift, finding your Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Staying super strong and engaged in that back leg. Staying super strong throughout the core. So it's almost like you're lifting your rib cage up, but you're not flaring the rib cage out. Keep that engagement in the core. Inhale to interlace the hands behind the back, really sending the wrists away from the body, and just walking the left toes out to the left a little bit further. Inhale to open up through the chest. Exhale, folding forward, finding humble warrior. That right hip coming forward as that left hip comes back. Left shoulder coming to the inside of the left leg, really sending the palms away from you. Inhale, coming back up, keeping the hands, but warrior 1 with the legs. Exhale, hinge and fold. Humble warrior. Inhale to extend. Exhale to fold. Inhale to extend. exhale, fold. Then keeping your humble warrior now, coming onto the ball of that back foot, deeper bend into that front knee. Can you find your way into that warrior three? So this is my dodgy side. So if you do need to keep that right leg lower to find your balance, please do so. Notice if you're turning the toes out to the side, trying to turn the toes down towards the mat. Keeping that engagement in the core, maybe that back leg starts to lift as you find your confidence, as you find your balance, as you find your stability. Keeping strong in that back leg. Releasing the palms, coming into prayer at the heart centre. Inhale to prepare, coming into those curtsy squats. Exhale to bend the left knee first gently, then bringing right knee behind the left knee. If you'd like, you can bring the right toes to the ground, or maybe keeping them lifted for a balanced challenge. Inhale to extend back into warrior three. Exhale, bending the left knee, sending right knee behind the left. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, finding the curtsy. Woo. Inhale to extend. Exhale, bringing the right toes down and then sinking all the way down. Hello, glutes. Finding our half lord of the fish on the other side. That right leg can be extended. You might just want to bash into the right glutes there, the left glutes there. Then bringing left hand behind the left hip, inhaling the right arm up, taking right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Inhale to extend, exhale finding the twist. So really twisting first from the navel and the ribs and the shoulder, then maybe the gaze goes back. But on the inhales releasing, on the exhales twisting. Inhale to release, exhale to twist. Inhale coming back into centre and taking that counter rotation to the other side. Inhale centre, planting both feet down and coming back into that Navasana. So if you find you're collapsing by going too far, come back one stage. So if that starts here, just finding that engagement in the core, that structure in the spine, that feeling of stability, then stay here. This is still working into this pose. Otherwise, finding the sitting bones, maybe just extending the body back a bit. Stay here, work with this. Maybe you're working with one leg off the floor. Maybe you're working with both legs off the floor. Then maybe you can extend your arms, eventually maybe straightening through the legs. But at any point, if you find yourself collapsing, come back a level. Every single one of these movements will help you strengthen through your core. Inhale and exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing both feet down, extending the arms. One last bit of core activation to come all the way down onto the mat. Hugging both knees into the chest. Taking a big squeeze, maybe the knees come to the nose. Before finding your way into your Shavasana, if there are any other movements that you'd like to take, please feel free to take them. Before extending your legs along on the mat, feet going out to the corners of the mat, palms facing up either side of the body, rolling the shoulders underneath the chest. And I do invite you to close the eyes or lower the gaze. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more like this, in through the nose. Let. And out through the mouth. Go. And just really allowing your body to sink into the ground. Let any tension, any frustration just float away. Giving yourself these final few moments to really let the body assimilate everything we've just put it through. everything you've just done. Giving yourself that opportunity to relax, to let go and to truly reset. And if you do have longer to spend in Shavasana, please do so. But I will leave you here. Thank you so much for your energy, for your practice today, and for joining me on the mat. Namaste.